But what if I fail? What if it doesn't work out? What if it doesn't succeed? That is not a mindset that's going to help you achieve your goals. Failure is a part of the process. And of course, we all don't like failing. Failing sometimes for me is a reminder that I'm getting farther from my goals. But really, it's not. Because think about this. In order to be smart, you have to look dumb. You have to fail a bunch of tests and fail a bunch of exams to eventually learn from those failures and become that smart person. Failure, you have to look like a fool and fail certain gym exercises, not knowing what the heck you're doing, not knowing what the heck correct form you should do, to where you eventually learn how to correctly do it to become that pro weightlifter. Calisthenics, handstand muscle up. You gotta constantly fall, constantly get stuck on the bar to actually learn that the struggle is a part of the process. And you learn from those failures, right? Great things take time. Without failure, it'd be too easy. Without failure, everyone would have it, right? Think about the goal you want. How rare and unique it is. You see, if it was easy, let's say these slices are all failures, right? This is you. You're going, you're trying to cruise to this goal right here. But then all these slices keep slicing you up, and these are all the failures until you eventually reach your goal. You see, most people aren't willing to go through this process of getting sliced up, of getting failed, of failure that makes them feel like they're getting farther from their goals. But in reality, sometimes the failure is like a slingshot, right? Each setback, this is a slingshot, right? Each setback pulls you back, back, back. But what happens? You get so much experience that you make so much more progress than the people who didn't even fail at all. Failure sometimes causes you to be in this analysis paralysis, right? You cannot have and achieve great things without even trying. You cannot have and achieve great things without failing. Great things take time, and that's why it costs failure. Things worthwhile having come at a cost, and that cost is failure, right? And failure gives you something that people who don't try because they're too scared to fail, it gives you something that you can't learn from any other way. When you fail, you gain a knowledge, you gain a new perspective that when you get back up again, you can apply that new perspective to this next move you're going to make towards your goals, right? Failure teaches you what you shouldn't and should do. Failure teaches you, maybe I need to think different. Failure teaches you, okay, why did this happen? Failure teaches you, okay, so I didn't achieve my goal. Well, what did I learn? And then you have so much more experience and information. Failing along the process makes reaching your goal much easier because of the knowledge and experience you gain. And that's the thing with failure. You cannot view it as this negative thing, because does being a negative person help you achieve your goals? No, it doesn't. When I was training for my planche skill, handstand push-up, muscle up, I was failing constantly, I was so confused. And I got annoyed sometimes, I got a little down sometimes. And that's the cost. Failure doesn't feel pleasant, but it's the part of the process that leads to greatness, right? But that failure taught me a lot more than if I had achieved a skill in 7 weeks, right? That failure helped me carry a new perspective of what it's like to struggle, of what it's like to achieve greatness, right? And I viewed that failure as something that I could eventually help others overcome, right? I didn't view it as this negative thing that I'll never get to my goals. Am I cut out for this? My genetics are bad, this, blah, 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 all these excuses, right? Do not view failure like that. View failure as this opportunity to help you get to your goals even faster, right? Like I said, failure actually sets you up like a slingshot to help you achieve your goals faster because of the knowledge and experience. So that's the mindset shift you need to make about failure. Don't get so paralyzed in the next step, the next action, the next school you should go to, the next this, that. Sometimes when you don't take action, other people have already taken action and they're far ahead of you just because they didn't have that fear of failure, right? When you shift your mindset and realize failure is a part of the growing process to achieve greatness, you just know eventually it's all going to work out, and you struggle through the failure with a smile on your face, right? Because you know that no matter how many setbacks you have, no matter how many failures, how many obstacles get in your way, this is the path that most people aren't willing to take because it results in something most people don't have. So remember, failure is a part of the process. If you do not enjoy that process, you're going to quit like everyone else, and you won't have the rare reward like everyone else who quit. Remember that.